The women's rights movement. From the 1830s to the 1870s, the abolitionist movement took place, attempted to free the slaves and end racial segregation and discrimination. The leaders of the women's rights movement were also abolitionists, taking the ideas and spirit from abolitionism, gave birth to the women's rights movement, helping promote the expansion of the American promise of liberty and equality. Cult of domesticity believed that mothers should instruct their children to become good citizens. Led to Republican motherhood, women were viewed as inferior to men. Women are responsible for household chores and taking care of the family, while men are responsible for jobs. Happened after the Revolutionary War. The women's rights movement was also anti-slavery, shifted goals, later pushed for universal suffrage. Famous advocates include Elizabeth Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and Lucretia Mott. Many believe that the beginning of the women's rights movement was the Seneca Falls Convention, led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Sarah Moore Grimke and Angelina Emily Grimke, known as the Grimke sisters, were the first American female advocates of abolition and women's rights. They wrote the letter on the condition of women and the equality of the sexes and saw slavery as morally wrong. They started fighting for this cause after women preachers were denounced. The letters on the condition of women and the equality of the sexes were a total of 15 letters by Sarah Grimke that were published in the newspaper. They addressed the issues women faced in society and politics and claimed women had the same petition rights as slaves.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton was a leading figure in the women's rights movement. She was born on November 12, 1815, and received a formal education at the Johnstown Academy and at Emma Willard's Troy Female Seminary. She was known for holding the Seneca Falls Convention with Lucretia Mott, and she was president of the National Women's Suffrage Association. The Seneca Falls Convention fought for the social, civil, and religious rights of women. It was a meeting held from July 19th to July 20th, 1848, in Seneca Falls, New York, and it launched the women's suffrage movement. It was led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott.
Lucretia Mott wrote the Declaration of Sentiments, which demanded the equality with men before the law in education and employment. It argued that women are oppressed by the government and the society of which they are a part of. She also partnered with Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Susan B. Anthony was an American social reformer and women's rights activist. She played a prominent role in the women's suffrage movement and was arrested for trying to give speeches on women's rights publicly.